Good morning. My name is Mr. Zelinka, and I'm one of the high school counselors. I'm so excited to be able to speak with you here at Move the Pride 2025. I think that we have a great program outlined for you today, talking about different ways for you to get involved in high school and ultimately to be successful. I'm going to take a few minutes to introduce the different members of my team who I work with every single day, and to talk about things that we hear as school counselors about how students can be successful in high school. I hope that this is a great day for you. I hope that you learned so much about the high school and that you are ready for next year to become engaged, to become contributing members of our school and our community, and to be good representatives as well. So let's go ahead and we'll go and get started. As I said, this is our welcome from the School Counseling Office for Move the Pride 2025. And these are some of the wonderful people who I work with. Representing the last name in the alphabets of A through CO, we have Mr. High. If your last name falls in the range of CR through G, we have Mrs. Utter. If you are working with the last name H through LE, you are working with Mrs. Cooper. If you have the last name LI through PA, you are with Mr. Schellenberger. I work with students who have the last names PE through SM, and Mrs. Forey works with students whose last names are SN through Z. When we talk about meeting with your school counselor, we talk about a whole variety of ways that we can help work with you to help be successful. Every single year that you're in high school, you will benefit from a yearly conference with your school counselor. This means that once a year, we're going to get together and we're going to talk about things that are unique and specific to you. And our goals for those conversations usually are centered around your academic success, your career goals, or your personal social interactions with people. And so if you have worked with some of our phenomenal school counselors in the middle school, you know oftentimes that we work with these three things. They lay the foundation for everything that we do with students. So we're going to pull you in probably beginning in September or October just to make sure that your transition to the high school has been pretty successful. Then again, as a sophomore, we'll check in at some point in the year. Juniors, we will meet typically at the December, November timeframe. And then our seniors, we usually meet them very, very early on to make sure that they have everything that they need. So seniors and freshmen, we're going to have those yearly conferences pretty early in the school year. But that doesn't mean you have to wait for that yearly conference if you have something that's happening or something that's going on in your life. We are pretty available as well through email. We can, every classroom you'll see when you visit on your tour today or starting next school year, we'll have a sign hanging up. It kind of looks like what you see in front of you here with this QR code. That QR code goes to a quick Google survey, so you could do that with your school-issued device, or you could do that with your own cell phone if you have one. And that survey will go to our administrative assistants who will help you schedule some time with your school counselor. So we make it real easy for you to get in touch with us. If those two options don't work, you could stop in at any time during CLC, during Flex, during lunch, and our amazing office staff, they will help connect you with the next available appointment for us as well. When we look at success in the high school, and specifically what that looks like for everybody, everybody's kind of on a different standpoint, different place. Success is defined differently for everybody. But usually success means that you're doing well with your classes, that you are academically engaged, that you feel that you are the work that you're doing is progressing you and putting you somewhere that will help you get to the next stage in your life. And we look at attributes of what attributes usually help define success. And we have found that students who get involved tend to feel better about school and tend to enjoy their experience here in the high school. And so that is one tenet for me that I really like to impress upon people. If you are worried about what life might look like for you next year, if you're nervous about anything, my first recommendation is to get involved. Find some way to be part of our community. For people who are inclined or feel motivated by sports, that's a great opportunity to do that. You're going to find out a little bit later today about some of our clubs here in the high school, and clubs are a second place that you can really get involved. If you're nervous about meeting people or sparking new conversations with others, clubs are a great place to already have a foundation of other people who have the same interests as you, and so I really encourage that. Any chance you have from now through your graduation at high school, you should be seeking leadership opportunities. Leadership opportunities are areas where you can show that you have growth potential and that you can take charge and be in charge of other people. And this can often happen with clubs, but sometimes it happens just as easily in the classroom too. I always encourage volunteer opportunities, again, as an opportunity to meet other people, but also benefiting your community and the place that you live. I want you to reflect on this school year, so 8th grade year. How have things been going for you? If you are reflecting on your current year and you're thinking to yourself, okay, maybe something is not going right, or maybe that's not how I wanted it to work out, or maybe this class is not the grade that I want it to be, I'm going to encourage you to try something different next year. This is the time. Try something different next year, because if you continue doing the same thing and you're expecting a different result, that can be madness, right? If things are not going the way that you want them to go, focus on what you can control and do some changes. This could be the way that you study, the way that you talk to people, maybe even the way that you reflect on things. It could be the way that you manage your time, and that usually has a lot to do with it too. I will often hear from students, not hear from students, but I'll say a lot of times, you've probably heard the expression that grass is always greener on the other side. And I think we're all old enough to know that that's not always the case. The grass is not always greener on the other side. I'm old enough, and please trust me when I say, the grass is green where you water it. And if you are watering your success in school, your success will grow in school. But if you are watering other things that are not positive and not helpful for you, those are the things that you're going to get good at. That could be video games. It could be a whole variety of things. So if things, and upon your reflection, are not going the way you want, try something different. Finally, know your resources. Know what's out there to help support you. When you come to the high school, your student support services are all around. You are surrounded by, of course, wonderful teaching staff, but we have successful, supportive school nurse staff who are there to help you, school social workers, of course, your school counseling team and your administrative team. Everybody wants you to be successful. And a lot of times, sometimes we just got to kind of help ourselves know what resources are out there. In the high school, we have the Student Assistance Program. Oftentimes, when I talk with 9th graders, I'll talk about the important roles of advocating for yourself. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to know that you need help with something. As a student who is looking on at other students, you can be that advocate for other people if you see that someone else is struggling or someone else is having a hard time. We have resources like the Student Assistance Program as an opportunity for you to say to someone like me, hey, I've noticed that this other person is struggling with something, and someone should check in with them. So know that that's a resource here to help you at the high school. You all know about Safe to Say. This is an anonymous way to, again, get information to people who can help when you see someone who it might be doing something that might be unsafe. I've talked before about advocating for yourself, and this is where reaching out to your school counselor can help as well. If you notice that your grades are slipping, you see something that you're unhappy with, reach out to us so that we can try and help. I'm going to share with you the same thing that I say to my own kids when I talk to them almost every single day. Represent yourself, your school, and your name well. Your name is something that's going to be you're going to carry with you the rest of your life, and so be proud of that. Then, of course, the choices you make today can affect things for tomorrow. I want to talk briefly about class periods and time. So I have for you on your screen the bell schedule of our day. Our school day starts at 7:45. And that will run till about 8 o'clock for CLC. We then go to period 1, 8:04 to 9:24. Period 2 from 9:28 to 10:48. Our lunches are in period 3, and in period 3 we'll have 4 waves of lunches. Those times are posted below. Your schedule for Move the Pride will likely not have lunches posted in there, but when you log back in over the summer, you should see them. Your lunches are tied to your period 3 teacher, by the way. There is not a way to change a lunch without changing your period 3 class. Finally, period 4 is from 12:52 to 2:12, and then our flex time, that's at the end of the day, 2:16 to 2:46. During the lunch periods, you have to go to the cafeteria. You are not permitted in other parts of the building, so just know that that is something to expect when you come up here. Flex for next year is instructional time, so we're going to be using this time to study, do homework, meet with teachers, and then on days 5 and 6, we will use that time for clubs. But flex is every day from 2:16 until dismissal time. For semester 1, everyone should have a full schedule. This is our goal before Move the Pride. If you have a hole in semester 2, that's okay for today, but we want to eventually fill that, and so you really should let us know about that. During the course selection process, you've elected a series of electives and alternates with which you are comfortable with. Everyone should have at least one selected elective. Everyone should have at least one alternate. We try our best to meet those needs, but please understand this year's schedule was incredibly tight with the interested courses. If you have a hole in your semester 1 schedule, you need to email your counselor or report to the school counseling office today during your tour. I believe that school counselors during this presentation are also in the back of the auditorium, so we might be able to address some of that here when we dismiss. If you have 2 classes scheduled at the same time, this is also something we need to know about. So please email your counselor or report to the office during your tour. Now, when you want to try and find your schedule, this is pretty easy. You're going to log into your Skyward. You'll see step 1, log into Skyward. Our step 2 is to click on Schedule. And then step 3 is to change, once you're inside Skyward, change that display option to current year. To future year. When you change that to future year, that will be, you'll then see next year's schedule. So it's going to look something like this, and it looks a little, there's a lot of information here. This is a sample of an upperclassman schedule, but the information is all there. You'll see your CLC teacher, you'll see your period 1, 2, 3 teacher, period 4 teacher, and what lunch you have. I want to talk about some of these in order, though. So going from left to right, you'll see the quarters or the terms. So for the most part, most of you will have a semester 1 class and then a semester 2 class. So the terms are the quarters. Semester 1 is made up from quarter 1 and quarter 2. Some of your classes may be all year. In this example, band is a class that is all year. So moving up to down, we have our different blocks or periods. And then on your schedule, you'll see the name of your class. You'll see the room location. That will be helpful today for your tour. You'll see your teacher. And of course, you'll see the days that the class meets. Most of your schedules will meet every single day of the 6-day cycle. But if you do have band, choir, or orchestra, you will be on a rotation of 1, 3, and 5, or 2, 4, and 6. So pay attention to that when you look at your schedules. This is an example of what a whole will look like. We need to know if you have a class that's missing in one of your periods. Open school, August 2025. Be on the lookout for this. This is when the school is open. Many of your counselors will be here. This is usually the week before school starts, but you get the opportunity again to see your schedule and walk around the school one more time. Look out for an email, newsletter, and our website in early to mid-August for the date and time. Here's our quick email list from all of our wonderful school counselors. Again, you can see those names, and counselors should be in the back of the presentation for today. I want to leave you with this one last piece. This is Mr. Rogers, one of my favorites. There are 3 ways to ultimate success. The first is to be kind, the second is to be kind, and the third is to be kind. Good luck next school year.